Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, focusing on one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Lincoln penny. But not just any Lincoln pennies. We're talking about the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies out there. These are the ones that collectors dream about and can be worth millions of dollars. So, if you're a coin enthusiast, or just curious about what makes some pennies so incredibly valuable, stick around because we're counting down the top 10 rare Lincoln pennies worth millions. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Lincoln 1-cent penny, and not just any penny. We're talking about the legendary 1960 D Lincoln cent that's been valued as high as $88,192. That's right, a simple penny, minted in Denver over 60 years ago, could be worth more than the average car, or even a year's salary. Now, you might be wondering how a 1-cent coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. What makes this little copper coin so special? Well, stay tuned, because we're going to explore its history, what to look for, and how you might just have a fortune sitting in your pocket change or coin collection. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909. Designed to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the coin replaced the Indian head penny and quickly became a collector's favorite. But by 1960, the U.S. Mint was facing a growing need to produce more coins, and that year became one of the most interesting and collectible in the Lincoln series. In 1960, the Denver Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents, and most of them were very ordinary. But a small number had something very special, a variation that collectors today go crazy for. That variation comes down to the size of the date on the coin. You see, in 1960, there were two versions of the date, one with a large date and another with a small date. And this is where things get exciting. The rarest and most valuable of them all is the 1960 D small date Lincoln cent. While millions of large date coins were minted in Denver, only a tiny fraction of the small date variety made it into circulation. These small date coins are so rare that high-grade examples, especially those in pristine, uncirculated condition, have fetched astronomical prices at auction. Imagine holding a penny in your hand and knowing it could be worth over $77,000, or even more. That's exactly what happened to a lucky collector when a 1960 D small date Lincoln cent in top-grade condition sold for a staggering $88,192. So, how can you tell if you have this valuable coin? Let's break it down. First, you want to look at the date. On the small date version, the top of the number 9 is level with the 1 and the 0. On the large date version, the 9 appears taller and curls higher than the other numbers. The difference might be subtle to the untrained eye, but to a collector, it's the difference between a penny and a potential jackpot. Next, check for the mint mark. The valuable variety is from the Denver Mint, so it should have a small letter, D, just below the date. If your coin says 1960 with a D underneath, you're halfway there. But remember, the real treasure lies in finding that rare combination of the D mint mark with the small date. Now, condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. The most valuable specimens are those that have been preserved in mint state condition. That means no scratches, no wear, and a strong, clean strike. Coins graded MS66 or higher are where you see those high 5-figure price tags. If your coin is dirty or worn, it will still have value, just not nearly as much as a flawless example. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, don't rush to spend it. Instead, consider having it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it closely and assign it a grade, which can significantly impact its market value. A certified high-grade 1960 D small date penny can attract serious attention at auctions and from private collectors. But here's something even more exciting: these coins are still out there. They can show up in old coin jars, inherited collections, or even in rolls of pennies from the bank. Some collectors hunt through thousands of coins just for the chance to find one of these rare gems. And the story doesn't end with just the small date. There are also double die varieties and other mint errors from the 1960 D run that are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, And it all starts with paying attention to the smallest details. So, the next time you're going through your spare change, take a closer look at those pennies. You might be holding on to a piece of history, and maybe even a small fortune. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips, rare coin spotlights, and stories of people who struck gold, or in this case, copper, in their own coin collections. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. Until next time, keep checking your change, because you never know when a penny might be worth over $88,000. Hello and welcome back to the channel, your ultimate source for rare coin discoveries and unbelievable values that could be sitting in your pocket change right now. Today, we're talking about one of the most intriguing modern-era coins, the 1978 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another old penny, but in some rare cases, this seemingly ordinary coin has sold for as much as $79,666 at auction. That's right, a single cent, worth nearly $80,000. So how is this even possible? Let's dig into the fascinating story of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and find out what makes certain examples so valuable. The basics of the 1978 Lincoln cent. First off, let's start with the basics. The 1978 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at the time, didn't use a mint mark on its coins. So if you have a 1978 penny without any mint mark under the date, that simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, millions of these were made. In fact, over 5.5 billion of them were produced. That's right, with a B. So the question becomes, how can such a common coin be worth tens of thousands of dollars? Condition is everything. The key factor in the high value of some 1978 pennies lies in condition and rarity. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by organizations like PCGS and NGC. While a typical circulated 1978 penny might be worth just 1 cent, maybe a little more if it's in great shape, the ultra-valuable examples are those that are in mint state condition, with a grade of MS 67 or higher. These coins are virtually flawless, showing no signs of wear, sharp details, strong luster, and a clean strike. Coins at this level of preservation are exceptionally rare, especially considering how many pennies go straight into circulation and get banged around. Why are MS 67 plus examples so rare? Now here's where things get really interesting. Out of the billions of 1978 Lincoln cents minted, only a tiny fraction have survived in pristine condition. In fact, PCGS, the professional coin grading service, has graded only a handful of 1978 no-mint mark pennies at MS 67 or higher. The scarcity of such high-grade coins drives collectors into bidding wars when one of them comes up for auction. Auction records and real prices. Let's talk real money. In recent years, auction houses have sold pristine 1978 pennies for astonishing prices. One MS 67 red example fetched $44,000, while another hit a record-breaking $79,666 at auction. These sales aren't just random flukes. They reflect the intense competition among top-tier collectors to own the best of the best. For collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents or registry sets, acquiring a top pop example can be the holy grail. What to look for? So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable pennies? Here are a few things to look for. First, check the coin's luster and color. The most valuable examples are graded as red, which means they still have that bright, coppery shine that newer pennies have. If your 1978 penny has turned brown or lost its original shine, it's probably not worth much. Next, look at the details. Is the strike sharp? Are Lincoln's hair and beard well defined? Does the lettering stand out cleanly? Finally, examine the surfaces of the coin. Any scratches, nicks, discoloration, or signs of wear will reduce the value. A coin must be in nearly perfect condition to be considered a candidate for those ultra-high grades. Getting it graded. If you think your 1978 penny might be something special, the next step is to have it professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the top two services, and their certification adds legitimacy and market value to your coin. While it costs a bit of money to get a coin graded, it can be a smart investment if you suspect you're holding a rare gem. Tips for collectors and treasure hunters. Want to try your luck hunting for valuable pennies? Here are some quick tips. Buy coin rolls from the bank and search through them. Many collectors find valuable coins this way. Use proper lighting and magnification to examine each coin carefully. Store coins properly to prevent damage. Use flips, holders, or albums to preserve condition. Keep learning, coin values change over time. What's common today could become rare tomorrow. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that even modern coins can be worth a fortune under the right conditions. While most examples are only worth face value, that rare high-grade coin in mint state red condition could make you tens of thousands of dollars richer. So before you toss your pennies in a jar, take a second look. You might just be holding a small copper treasure worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss another coin video. Got a cool coin story or question? Drop it in the comments below. We love hearing from fellow collectors. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Welcome back, coin lovers. Today we are diving into the story of a common-looking penny that might just be worth a small fortune. That's right. We're talking about the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. It might look like just another copper coin from your pocket change, but certain versions of this coin have sold for up to $46,219 at auction. So how can you tell if your 1981 penny is one of these rare and valuable gems? Stay with me as we uncover everything you need to know, the history, the key features, and what makes some of these coins incredibly valuable. Let's start with the basics. In 1981, the United States Mint was still producing Lincoln cents primarily in copper. This was actually the final full year that pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. The following year, in 1982, the composition would change to a predominantly zinc coin with just a thin copper coating. Now, Lincoln pennies from 1981 were produced at three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins made in Denver bear a small D mint mark. Coins from San Francisco, typically proof coins, show an S mint mark. But if your penny has no mint mark at all, it was struck in Philadelphia. Here's where it gets exciting. Most 1981 pennies from Philadelphia are common. Billions were made, over 7.5 billion, in fact. But among these billions, a few extraordinary coins stand out. These are the 1981 Lincoln cents that were struck with extremely high quality, have full red luster, and are in superb gem condition, especially those graded MS 67 red or higher. Now you might be wondering, what do those grades mean? MS stands for mint state, and the number, which can range from 60 to 70, indicates the coin's condition. The higher the number, the better the quality. MS 70 is a perfect coin, flawless even under magnification. MS 67 is already considered an elite grade, and very few coins reach that level, especially from this era. For the 1981 no mint mark penny, coins graded MS 67 red by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC are extremely rare. The red designation refers to the color and luster of the coin. It means the coin has retained at least 95% of its original copper color. Most older coins turn brown or red-brown over time, but a true red coin in top condition is a collector's dream. In fact, one such coin, a 1981 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, graded MS 67 red by PCGS, sold for $25,000 at auction. Even more astonishing, another example fetched $46,219 due to its stunning condition and intense competition among collectors. So how can you find one of these? Start by checking your old coin jars, penny rolls from the bank, and inherited coin collections. Look closely at any 1981 pennies without a mint mark. If the coin looks nearly perfect, with no scratches, spots, or signs of wear, and has a vibrant red color, you might be looking at something special. If you suspect you've got a high-quality 1981 no mint mark penny, your next step should be professional grading. Submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will evaluate the coin under strict conditions and assign it an official grade. That grade can make the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth tens of thousands of dollars. But a word of caution: the vast majority of 1981 pennies are only worth face value. To command big bucks, the coin must be in pristine, uncirculated condition, ideally with full red color and minimal contact marks. So don't get discouraged if your 1981 penny isn't worth a fortune. But do keep your eyes open. Treasure is out there, and it could be hiding in plain sight. To recap, the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny can be incredibly valuable if it meets 3 critical criteria. It must be in mint state, it must have full red color, and it must be professionally graded at MS 67 or higher. Those rare few have made headlines by selling for as much as $46, $219. So what are you waiting for? Check your coin collections today. You never know, your next lucky find might be hiding in your change. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunting tip. And let me know in the comments, have you found any 1981 pennies recently? I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting and happy hunting. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable modern pennies, the 1983 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, a coin that, under the right conditions, has sold for as much as $21,000 to even over $39,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny. The kind you might pass by on the sidewalk or find buried in your change jar, could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's uncover why this coin is so special, how to identify it, and what exactly makes it so valuable. First, let's break down what this coin is. The 1983 Lincoln cent was part of the regular issue of U.S. 1-cent coins. In 1983, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies primarily at 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia carried no mint mark, while Denver minted coins had a D mint mark under the date. Now here's the thing, most 1983 cents aren't particularly valuable. They were made in large numbers and are usually worth only face value. But one particular error, an extremely rare and highly prized mistake, changed the game. This error is known as the 1983 no mint mark Lincoln cent on a bronze planchet. So what does that mean? In 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from making pennies out of 95% copper to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, drastically reducing the cost of production. By 1983, all pennies were supposed to be made of this cheaper zinc composition. But somehow, a few pennies in 1983 were struck using the older bronze planchets. Planchets meaning the blank metal discs used to make coins. These bronze planchets were left over from the previous year and accidentally got mixed in during the minting process. As a result, these special 1983 pennies are heavier, weighing 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for zinc pennies. Let me repeat that. This tiny difference in weight can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth over $30,000. But how do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. It must be 1983 and have no mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, weigh the coin. A regular zinc penny from 1983 will weigh about 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze era will weigh about 3.1 grams. You'll need a precise digital scale for this, something that measures to the tenth of a gram. If your coin weighs around 3.1 grams, do not spend it. You may be holding something incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about the value. In 2013, a 1983 no mint mark bronze Lincoln cent sold at auction for an astonishing $23,500. Then, in 2017, another specimen, authenticated and graded by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, sold for an incredible $39,219. That's right. A 1-cent coin sold for the price of a luxury car, or even a down payment on a house. Why such a high price? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Very few of these coins exist. Some experts believe there may be fewer than a dozen known examples. Combine that with the huge number of collectors hunting for rare Lincoln cents, and you've got a perfect storm for high auction prices. So what should you do if you think you've found one? First, weigh it. If it's close to 3.1 grams, set it aside. Next, get it professionally graded and authenticated. You'll want to send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if your penny is indeed struck on a bronze planchet and assign it a grade, which can greatly affect its market value. Coins in mint state condition, especially those with minimal scratches or wear, will bring the highest prices. But even circulated examples can be worth thousands. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip: always check the sound your coins make. Zinc pennies sound a bit dull when dropped, while bronze pennies have a slightly richer, ring-like tone. It's not foolproof, but it's a trick many seasoned collectors use as a first clue. So, to recap, check your 1983 pennies, especially those without a mint mark. Weigh them carefully. And if you think you've got something special, have it authenticated. You just might have a coin worth $21,000 to $39,000 or more sitting in your change jar. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a hidden treasure. Happy collecting, and we'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the world of modern pennies to uncover the mystery behind a small coin with a huge price tag, the 1988 D Lincoln cent. That's right, a penny that could be worth anywhere from $19,000 to as much as $33,999. How is that possible? Stay tuned, because we're breaking it all down in this video. The 1988 D Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark located just under the year on the obverse, or head side, of the coin. Like most Lincoln Memorial cents made from 1982 to 2008, it's composed of copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams. Millions of these pennies were produced. In fact, over 5.2 billion were struck in Denver that year alone. So why would any single 1988 D penny be worth thousands? Here's the answer. A rare variety known as the 1988 D transitional reverse cent. This is where things get exciting. In 1989, the U.S. Mint updated the reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial cent. They made subtle changes to the designer's initials, specifically the letters FG, for Frank Gasparo, the coin's reverse designer. On pre-1989 cents, the initials were bold and closer to the building. But in 1989 and beyond, they were smaller and farther away. So what's the big deal? Well, in 1988, a small number of Denver minted Lincoln cents were accidentally struck using the 1989 reverse die, the new reverse, even though the obverse still had the 1988 date. This means these pennies have the wrong reverse for their year, making them transitional errors, a type of mistake that serious collectors go wild for. This error wasn't discovered until years later, and only a few of these rare varieties have been found. They are so scarce that when they appear at auction, the price soars into the five-figure range. Now, let's talk numbers. 1 Verified 1988 D transitional reverse Lincoln cent was sold by Heritage Auctions for an incredible $33,600 in a 2021 auction. Another example sold for $19,200 in a different sale. And those are just the known sales. Because of the coin's rarity, very few examples come to market, and when they do, competition among collectors drives the price through the roof. What makes these coins so valuable is not just the rarity, but also the condition. The coins that sold for the highest amounts were in nearly perfect condition, graded mint state 65 or better by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. So if you happen to find one of these error coins in your change, even in circulated condition, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands. But how can you tell if your 1988 D penny is the valuable variety? Here's what to look for. Flip the coin to the reverse side and examine the designer's initials, the FG, located to the right of the Lincoln Memorial, near the bottom. On the normal 1988 D reverse, the initials are bold and closer to the building. On the rare 1989 style reverse, the initials are thinner and more spaced from the building. It can be tough to tell with the naked eye. so many collectors use a jeweler's loupe or microscope to examine the coin closely. If it looks like you've got the 1989 reverse on your 1988 D penny, it's time to get excited. Your next step? Have the coin authenticated and graded by a trusted third-party service like PCGS or NGC. They can officially confirm whether you have the transitional variety, and their certification will help you get top dollar if you ever decide to sell. So, to recap, check your pocket change, coin rolls, and old penny jars. That ordinary-looking 1988 D penny might be hiding a valuable secret. If you find the rare transitional reverse variety, you could be holding onto a coin worth $19,000 to over $30,000. That's it for today's video. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1988 D penny, or let us know which coins you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting, coin collectors. You never know, your next big treasure could be just one penny away. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we've got something truly exciting for all of you penny lovers out there, a coin that might be hiding right in your pocket change. We're talking about the 1996 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it might look just like any other ordinary penny. But did you know that one of these seemingly normal coins sold for an astonishing $19,279 at auction? That's right, a 1996 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, just like the ones you see every day, fetched nearly $20,000. So what makes this little copper-plated coin so valuable? Stick with us, because we're going to break it all down, from its history and design to the rare errors that can make it worth thousands of dollars. Let's begin with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, and the obverse or front of the coin features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln. The reverse side in 1996 still showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been used since 1959. Now, the 1996 penny that we're focusing on was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not use a mint mark. So, if your 1996 penny has no mint mark under the date, that's normal. But the real question is, what sets the valuable ones apart? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and in some cases, mint errors. Most 1996 pennies are only worth face value, just 1 cent, if they're worn or circulated. Even in uncirculated condition, many examples might only bring a small premium. However, certain 1996 no mint mark Lincoln cents in pristine, gem quality condition have become the stuff of legend among collectors. Take for example a 1996 no mint mark penny graded MS69 read by a top grading service like PCGS. This coin was in nearly perfect condition, with bold luster, sharp strike, and absolutely no signs of wear. This is the kind of quality that is extremely rare to find. And when this coin went to auction, it amazed everyone by selling for an incredible $19,279. That's the power of condition in the world of coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and the closer to 70, the more perfect the coin. MS stands for mint state, and MS69 is just 1 point shy of perfection. A coin like that is a collector's dream, especially from a year like 1996, where most coins were heavily circulated. But wait, condition isn't the only thing that can drive up the value of a penny. Errors can also play a huge role. Some 1996 Lincoln cents were struck with dramatic errors that can also bring in thousands of dollars. These might include off-center strikes, double dies, or even coins that were struck on the wrong planchet. For example, a 1996 penny that was mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, that is, a penny design on a dime-sized blank, could be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the details and demand. Another type of error to look out for is the double die. A double die penny shows doubling on parts of the design, often the date or the lettering. This happens during the die creation process and can result in some very eye-catching coins. Although there aren't any widely recognized major double die varieties for the 1996 penny, it's always worth keeping an eye out. new discoveries happen all the time in the world of coin collecting. So, what should you be looking for in your own pocket change? First, pull out any 1996 pennies with no mint mark and examine them closely. Look at the overall condition. Is the surface clean and glossy? Are there minimal marks or scratches? Does the coin have a strong strike with clear details? If so, you might have something special. If you think your coin is in great shape, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Grading not only verifies the authenticity and quality of your coin but also dramatically increases its value if it's in top condition. Remember, the coin that sold for over $19,000 was professionally graded as MS69 red. That high grade made all the difference. Now, let's talk about red, red-brown, and brown classifications. These terms refer to the color and luster of copper coins. A red coin means it has nearly full original copper color and is highly sought after. Red-brown coins have started to tone, and brown coins have completely changed color over time. Red coins bring the highest premiums, especially in top grades like MS68 and MS69. If your coin shows full red color, has no visible wear, and sharp detail, congratulations, you may have something worth submitting for grading. And who knows, it could end up being the next big auction star. Before we wrap up, let's recap the key points. Point 1. The 1996 no mint mark Lincoln penny is common in circulation, but extremely rare in MS69 red condition. Point 2. Coins in this condition can sell for thousands, with one example reaching a staggering $19,279.3. Always check your pennies for sharp detail, rich red color, and mint errors like double dies or off-center strikes. Point 4. If your coin looks promising, get it graded. It might just be a hidden treasure. And that's it for today's deep dive into the 1996 no mint mark Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden coin treasures. Drop a comment below and let us know. Have you ever found a valuable penny in your change? Or do you have a 1996 penny you'd like us to take a closer look at? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and may your next penny be a fortune. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk coins, cash, and crazy collectibles. Today, we've got a real shocker for all the penny lovers out there. Imagine digging through your pocket change and finding a coin that could be worth not 5 cents, not 10, but up to a staggering $66,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, let's talk about the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark that's recently fetched between $29,000 and $66,449 at auction. You heard that right. One little penny could change your life. So don't go anywhere because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify this rare coin, and what makes it so incredibly valuable. Let's start with the basics. The 1980 Lincoln cent, commonly known as a penny, features the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, side. This iconic design was created by Victor David Brenner and has been in circulation since 1909. The reverse side in 1980 still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design that began in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The coin is made primarily of copper, specifically 95% copper and 5% zinc. That's important, and we'll come back to why in just a moment. Now here's the key: most pennies were minted with a small letter under the date to indicate where they were made. For 1980, that would be either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But the coin we're talking about today has no mint mark at all. And no mint mark, what does it mean? So what does it mean if your 1980 penny has no mint mark? In most cases, a missing mint mark simply means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. That's not necessarily rare. Philadelphia generally doesn't put mint marks on pennies. But here's the twist: not all 1980 no mint mark pennies are created equal. While billions were made, only a tiny fraction have the features collectors go wild for: extreme high-grade condition, flawless surfaces, and sometimes unique striking errors. It's these rare traits that transform a common coin into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Why is it worth so much? You might be wondering, why would anyone pay over $60,000 for a 1-cent coin? It all comes down to grade and rarity. In the coin collecting world, condition is king. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 1980 no-mint mark penny graded MS 67 or higher, that's mint state 67, is extremely rare. There are only a handful known in such pristine condition. One example graded MS 67 plus read by PCGS. That's the professional coin grading service, sold for an astonishing $66,449 at auction. The coin looked like it had just come off the press, with a vibrant red copper shine, no contact marks, and crisp details. Even slightly lower grades like MS 66 red can bring in thousands of dollars. A 1980 Lincoln cent in this grade once sold for $29,000. That's a whole lot of money for a coin that could be sitting in your change jar right now. How to identify a valuable one? So how do you know if your 1980 penny is worth big bucks? First, check for that no mint mark under the year. If it's not there, you're in the game. But that's just the beginning. Next, examine the condition. Is the coin shiny and red, like it's barely been touched? Look for smooth surfaces, sharp details, and no scratches or wear. Then, you might want to invest in a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look closer. Some valuable specimens also feature doubling errors on the lettering or date, known as doubled dies. If you see any signs of this, it could mean your coin is even more valuable. Finally, consider getting your coin graded. PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your penny, and this step is often crucial if you want to sell it to serious collectors or at auction. Now here's the exciting part. These coins are out there. Many have been found in rolls of uncirculated pennies, estate sales, or even in everyday change. Here are a few quick tips. Check every 1980 penny you come across. Buy penny rolls from the bank and search through them. Attend coin shows or check local auctions for hidden gems. Ask friends and family if they have old change jars they haven't looked through in years. You never know. That lucky find could be waiting for you. To sum it all up, the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark might seem ordinary at first glance, but under the right conditions, it can be an extraordinary find. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, this is a perfect example of how a simple penny can be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Remember, the highest reported sale of this coin is a jaw-dropping $66,449, and more are likely out there just waiting to be discovered. So what are you waiting for? Go grab that coin jar, check your wallet, or head to the bank and hunt through some penny rolls. Your next big discovery could be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and ring the bell so you never miss a valuable update. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!